Hey guys, you are on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Enjoy watching. 2 years ago, Ivan 30M was scheduled to get married to the 28F love of my life. 3 weeks to my wedding, I suddenly noticed that my fiance was always on her phone, always chatting or discussing with random men which she always claimed were just friends. Things got so bad she never even had time for me at this very crucial time in our relationship. This really affected emotionally as I began to have second thoughts about the wedding. Always had to wonder who she was always discussing with online and meeting with behind me. I said, boo asterisk K it, I am gonna trust her all week. I reminded myself you have to trust her. I was too afraid to let myself believe something was wrong. 2 weeks later, I was scheduled to give a presentation to a bunch of IT students about the asterisk functionality of spyware on laptops and how to use these spyware to monitor all activities on a laptop asterisk. So I decided to infect my laptop with this spyware to show the students how this worked. Totally legal. A day before my presentation, my wife approached me claiming her laptop crashed and she needed to keep in touch with her friends online. You never give me your attention anyways, so there is no way I am giving her my laptop. I remember having this thought in my head. Then a light bulb came on in my head. Why not give her my laptop? After all, it's mine. I knew fully well my device had this spyware functionality on for the demonstration. So it was a golden chance to have a peek into who she was always chatting with. This was completely legal, as it was my laptop and not hers. Right? Had always promised myself never to use my ability to ever snoop in on whatever she was up to. But I told myself I was probably overthinking things, and this was my chance to prove myself right. I gave her the laptop. 15 minutes later, all the communications on my laptop were being synced to a remote database, meaning I could remotely access all the messages going in and out of my laptop, which happened to also include the messages of whoever was using my laptop. Let me cut the crap. I was reading her messages. 1 minute, nothing happened. 5 minutes. Just a few chats with her girls. 10 minutes. D asterisk K pic, did you have enjoy yesterday night? But she said she was at work yesterday. Yes. I did. She replied, wait, was someone else using my laptop? Or I had made a mistake in the remote setup programming? I peeked to see her on the kitchen counter, still typing. Elle missed you so much. 30 minutes in. It got so worse. I already knew who she was sleeping with. A Mark. My best friend and best man. I had only ever seen things like this in movies or project exposures. How could they both stoop so LOW.TO? Cut the long story short. The wedding did not hold. That experience shaped the direction my career went. Promised them, I promised myself, if heartbreak ever came calling again, that I would never, ever be caught short of a story. Everything you read on here about my life, whether good or bad, enduring or embarrassing, is me making good on that promise. Because if I ever have to watch my hard work and dedication vanish before my eyes again, I might as well have a life story worth watching. And for those of you wondering what happened to the smart little cheater, they got married. Yes. Her and my best man. A month ago he, my ex-best friend, texted me that he wanted to know if she was cheating, and he wanted me to be the one to find out. The irony of life. My stepdad, 60, is in love with me, 22. I'm 22 and I've had a stepdad for around 12 years now. And I believe he's in love with me. This is a very intense assumption, but I'm not a delusional woman that likes the drama that comes with such attention. He has been diagnosed with MS and a form of Parkinson's recently, and he only has a couple years left to live. With this diagnosis, his behavior has been more apparent in contrast than within the past few years, because I've always have had a suspicion. He has his own kids, 4 of them, and I have 3 sisters, and his attentions has always gravitate towards me. Him and my mother don't share any kids. I'm the youngest BTW. He's a shy man, who keeps to himself, but in slick ways he has always made it apparent I'm his favorite. This was usually made clear through my mother. She has made comments on how he always talks about me, how proud he is of me, and how beautiful and smart I am. Pretty innocent, huh? But my mom is a very accommodating woman. She goes along with him to please him, and I'm pretty sure it goes right over her head, like everything with her. But it goes even further. He texts me unusual stuff sometimes. He mentions how he sometimes stares at my profile picture to admire me. He calls me his princess, his little 1-inch, and many other things that come across very flirtatious. He never does this when anyone else is around, so usually over text. I'm certain of the fact that he doesn't call his own kids or my sisters anything similar. He only does this with my mother as well, but not even that direct and flirtatious with her. It's bizarre. He's a simple, unromantic man. It's something he doesn't even do within his own relationship, so why with me? Recently, he saw me wearing one of his old sweaters he gave to my mom because I was cold, and when he got home he texted me he loved seeing me wearing his clothing, which I didn't know how to respond to. Over the years, he was planning to immigrate to Canada, and he had always made the comment, but only if the little one comes along with us. And he was very serious about it as well. Looking for universities for me, and making plans for my paperwork even before I even agreed on joining them. Which isn't that weird, but I'm a grown woman and he doesn't need for me to tag along like I'm a kid that's dependent on them. If I was still underage, sure, they should think and take care of me, but that isn't the case. My other sister also still lives at home, and he never had the intention to take her as well, which made it apparent he only wanted me to go with them. To make the situation even weirder, he once made the comment/joke, "Let's just leave your mother behind, let's just do it, you and me." My mother wasn't present, and it felt like the joke had a hidden meaning. He was very pushy about it and never truly asked me, but simply made the assumption I wanted to go with them. The rare moments I'm alone with him were moments when the tension were high within the household. He doesn't live with us, and he never has, so I usually see him on the weekends when he comes to pick my mom up. But when my mother and I, or my sister and I, had arguments, I was usually the one to walk away to go to my room. He would come to my room to ease the tension and fix it. One time I was having an argument with my sister. I was sitting on my balcony, and he came to talk to me. After some conversation, I got emotional, which I rarely am. I cried and he comforted me, which is also very rare because it's not often that I'm vulnerable in front of another. He hugged me, which never happens because I'm not an affection person. I accepted it though, because he meant well. When he pulled away, he stared into my eyes and cupped my face. It was at night and we couldn't see each other that clear, but I could swear on everything he had the intention to kiss me. I felt overwhelmed, pulled away, and started the conversation almost instantaneously to ease the awkwardness, and we never spoke up about it. I'm a very private person, so I rarely speak about my love life, but on the rare occasion that I do, I usually got comments like, "You are such a smart and pretty woman. You should have a man like insert things he is like himself." I have many other things to push my point, but to come to my question, he lives further away from us, but because of his condition he wants to move, which I don't look forward to at all. He wants to get an apartment on the same street as us, to be close to my mom, so she can take care of him. This is understandable, but last night I got a text that he had only sent to me and not my sister or my mother, going on about how he's doing this to be close to me and so I can easily come to visit him before his condition becomes, well, his unfortunate death. I think this diagnosis is fading away his morals and he is getting more outspoken about his feelings for me because of it. I can't talk to my mother about this, I just can't. I wouldn't be able to tolerate him living so close by. He would expect a lot of attention and it would make me very anxious. He is a very egotistical man beside him being kind, and would take it as an offense if not all attention would go to him within these circumstances. His feelings for me are strange and inappropriate, but I would get nothing out of it to speak up about them. I can tolerate it, but only if he lives as far away as he does now. Please give me advice. My mother is helping with his move and like I've said before, I'm dreading it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like it, there are many more interesting stories ahead of us.